Ian back again with some more sailing theory. This one is more about terminology than anything. So in can sail, a really important skill is doing split tacks. If you can start at the same place on opposite tacks, whether this is a rabbit start or some other fancy way of getting these two boats to sail upwind, wind's coming from the top of the paper here, you want to figure out which side of the course is favored. There's a whole bunch of different reasons why you could come out ahead, but one of them is a wind shift. You find your best friend. Obviously, your best friend sails at the same speed as you. This boat is going to sail along. And first, I've circled this wind. So these boats are sailing along in this wind. Then this shift happens to happen just as they tack, to make things simple. This boat sails along on the median, on the middle wind angle here, and then the wind goes left. So this boat sails along, and then when they tack and the wind goes left, they experience this as a header on starboard tack. Now, boat number 2 sailed along in the median wind, sailing along. They tack, happened to be just as this wind shifted. So when the wind goes from this direction to that direction, they experience this shift as a lift on port tack. So then they come together at the end and, hey, how was your split tack? I think I sailed pretty well. I was, trying about 80%. Yeah, me too. Well, you came out way ahead. Oh, what did you do? Da 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 da. So when you're having this conversation, or when I was having this conversation when I first started doing split tacks, I'd have this conversation with my friend who was also named Ian, Ian Cantosh and Ian Elliott. We'd come together. I'd say, I got lifted, or I got knocked on starboard tack. And he'd say, I got lifted on port tack. And then we'd spend like 30 seconds trying to work that out. Like, is that the same thing? Because we didn't know whether we were in separate wind or in the same wind. So then our coach came up and gave us a new tool. Instead of saying lifted on starboard tack is the same as knocked on port tack or headed on port tack, you can, there's a word for the wind shifting left. So shifting left is called backing. Now, I bet that sounds familiar from the test. So the wind is backing left. So boat 1 is going to call backing getting knocked on starboard tack. And boat 2 is going to call backing getting lifted on port tack. So backing just means shifting left. Now the opposite of backing is veering. Ooh, I'm actually not sure how to spell that. But you veer right and you back left. So veer means a shift the other way. So this would be a veer. But that's not what I've drawn here. So backing is a way to simplify talking to your training partner about a split tack. Means shifting left. Veering means shifting right.